Prass. Like always, I am speaking from my YouTube channel, Prass Gunturseto. My dear friends, let me tell you one thing about the tremendous power of suggestions. I have told you several times in my previous videos that human conscious mind is just like a watchman at the gate. The main function is to protect your subconscious mind from any false impression or instruction. You need to be aware of this basic law of the mind. Your subconscious mind is amenable, so open and so responsive to any kind of suggestion or impression. I have been telling you this story in my many videos that human subconscious mind does not make comparison. It does not argue with you. It does not talk back to you. Your subconscious mind only accepts all impression that your conscious mind makes. Whatever impressed upon it, it is a clear order for it to execute and to manifest. Your subconscious mind only reacts to the impression which are given to it. The impression given by your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind does not have any interest for its own benefits. It obeys and executes good and bad orders. It does not make any choice. Its faithfulness is really pure. It simply accepts whatever ideas which are strongly impressed upon it through the mental picture of your conscious mind. Let us see the following example to make it clear to you on how tremendous impacts a suggestion and impression can do. Suppose you approach a timid-looking passenger on a train and say to him something like the following: "Hey man, you look very ill. I can see your face is so pale. I feel certain that you are going to be sick. Well, let me help you find your seat number." Now, oftentimes, you will see the passenger's face will really turn pale. Your suggestion of him being sick normally associates itself with his own fears and foreboding. It means that he accepts your help down to his seat number, and there your negative suggestion, which was accepted by him, is realized. It really works. But oftentimes, different reaction may happen to the same suggestion depending on certain condition and situation also. It is true that different people will react in different ways to the same suggestion, of course, because of their conditioning in the subconscious mind or belief. For example, if you go to a train passenger and say to him sympathetically, "Oh, my dear fellow, you are looking very ill. Aren't you feeling sick now? You look to me as if you are going to be sick very soon." Now, depending on his temperament, he may either laugh at your joke or he may express a mild irritation by shrugging his shoulders, for instance. In that context, your suggestion may fall on deaf ears because your suggestion of him being sick is associated in his mind with his own immunity from it. Therefore, it may not call up fear or worry, but self-confidence. My friend, the dictionary says that a suggestion is the act or instance of putting something into one's mind, the mental process by which the thoughts or ideas suggested is entertained, accepted, and put into effect. You must remember that a suggestion cannot impose something on the subconscious mind against the will of the conscious mind. In other words, your subconscious mind or your conscious mind has the power to reject the suggestion given by other people. In the case of the train passenger that I am using in this context, he had no fear or sickness. He had convinced himself of his immunity, and the negative suggestion that's been said had absolutely no power to evoke fear in him. Well, my friend, everyone has his own inner fear, beliefs, and opinions, and this inner assumption rule and govern our life. A suggestion has no power in and of itself unless it is well accepted mentally. In the following story, I will tell you how a successful businessman becomes so bankrupt because of what he wants something to happen to him in exchange of something else. It deals with a strong suggestion that this businessman gave to his subconscious mind over 2-year period times. This is more or less what he always said to his subconscious mind. I will give all my businesses to a bankruptcy as long as the ailment of my daughter is totally cured. It appeared that his daughter had a crippling form of arthritis together with a so-called incurable form of a skin disease. The medical treatment clearly had failed to alleviate the condition, and the father had an intense longing for his daughter's healing and began to express his desire more and more, almost every day, as a habitual way of thinking. It was reported that this businessman was one day traveling out of the city with his family on a holiday trip. While driving in a fast lane, his car was sliding off a slippery road, and the whole family plunged into a deep ravine or cliff. His wife was dead in that accident, but his sick daughter could be successfully rescued and to be hospitalized for 3 months in the hospital for medication. He himself got his ribs severely broken, and he had to go through various operations that drained a lot of his money. He had to sell off all his own businesses to his close friend. More or less after a 6-month period, both of them got recovered. But by the time he got recovered, he also found that his daughter's ailment had totally gone. Consequently, he also found that he had lost all his businesses. Then he was in a total bankruptcy. His own subconscious mind, in this case, had fulfilled what he had wished for. So you must ascertain to give your subconscious mind only suggestions which can heal you, which can bless you, which can elevate you, which can inspire you in all your ways. Never give a negative impression to your subconscious mind that can bring you down in any way possible. Why is it so? Because your subconscious mind cannot take a joke. Your subconscious mind is just like a baby. Your subconscious mind cannot make any difference of any good and bad impression. It will take you at your word. At your words. It will work as what you believe as true. It will take your impression you make as a clear order for it to do. It will take orders to manifest any accepted mental pictures. So be careful. You with your conscious mind is just like a watchman at the gate. And don't let anything harmful goes into your subconscious mind and take bad power in there.